Everybody brings his best to the unit. Nobody of us has all the qualities, but in a team role where everybody expresses his talent.
Welcome to Touchline Talk by Soccerspective. I'm your host of Touchline Talk, Brandon Faust. In today's episode of Touchline Talk, we celebrate the enigma that is Arsène Wenger, a man who redefined modern football. Known for his revolutionary tactics, emphasis on player development, and unwavering commitment to attacking football, Wenger's legacy remains unmatched. Let's explore his tactical brilliance, key players, and pivotal matches that cemented his place in football history. You see, in each episode of Touchline Talk, we'll spotlight a notable manager, exploring their tactical philosophy, leadership style, and key strategies to help you understand the game better as a fan or as a coach. Our Soccerspective YouTube channel has well over 20,000 subscribers. Hitting the like and subscribe button to the Soccerspective YouTube channel ensures that you always see when we release new podcast episodes of Touchline Talk, episodes of our podcast Soccerspective Fan Zone with Jonathan, and other soccer resource videos, which brings right to you all of the tactical insights and practical coaching tips. So it's a win-win. We'll elevate your knowledge of the game with valuable content, and your support helps us grow and create even more resources for the soccer community. Arsène Wenger's career began in France, where he managed AS Nancy and AS Monaco. At Monaco, he won League One in 87-88, showcasing his ability to blend youth development and tactical innovation. Interesting about him, multicultural influence. He spent some time in Japan at Nagoya Grampus 8, which broadened his outlook, exposing him to different styles of play and a more disciplined approach to team management. Wenger's degree in economics influenced his approach to running a club sustainably, prioritizing long-term stability over short-term gain. So really interesting part of his background and profile as a manager. And I think it's really important to consider how, at any level, coaches can incorporate Wenger's focus on understanding the game's bigger picture while developing still individual players. So he kind of had this broad roadmap that he wanted to aspire to, envision for football, and then seeing the talent that he has and how does he help them ascend into those spots for their long-term development as a holistic player and their success. Arsène Wenger's trophy haul at Arsenal is a testament to his incredible impact on the club. During his tenure from 96 to 2008, he won the following trophies. He won the Premier League, top flight English football, in 97-98 in his first full season in charge. He led them to the historic double of the Premier League and the FA Cup in 2001-2002. Another double-winning season capped off with a title secured at Old Trafford against Manchester United. And those were really the two teams of the day. I mean, they'd go toe-to-toe with each other. And then in 03-04, the infamous Invincibles, Arsenal went on to be unbeaten in the league, a feat unmatched in modern English football. He also holds the record for the most FA Cup wins as a manager, with 7 in 97-98, 2001-2002, 2002-2003, 2004-2005, 13 and 14, 14 and 15, and 16 and 17. And he also went on to win the Community Shield 7 separate times. Also, was on the brink of Champions League glory. Wenger came close to that in 2006 when Arsenal reached the final but lost 2-1 to Barcelona. And then in 99-2000, Arsenal were runners-up in the UEFA Cup, losing to Galatasaray on penalties. The Arsenal Revolution. Arsène Wenger is known for his tactical innovations and formation mastery. His 4-4-2 was not rigid, but was fluid. Often it would morph into a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-1-4-1 in transitions. Now, this was very different. The formations were a little bit more rigid in the 90s and in the early 2000s, and he was really on the cutting edge of having this flexibility, this fluidity in his 4-4-2. And we see a lot of teams in the current Premier League and other top European teams play that kind of 4-2-3-1 formation. He put an emphasis on positional play, overlapping fullbacks to stretch the opponent's defense, quick one-touch passing, an elegance to their style, famously known as Wengerball with a focus on verticality and exploiting spaces using players to make runs like a Thierry Henry. Attack-centric play, Arsenal, they were always trying to play on the front foot. Teams were instructed to attack with creativity, with freedom, focusing on swift counterattacks and positional interchanges. There was reliance on triangular passing patterns to maintain possession and progress the ball efficiently. I think this also drew in a lot of other players outside of England, Dutch players, French players, to come and play in these kinds of systems because it was an attractive brand of football. We saw key players in Wenger's system, Dennis Bergkamp, cerebral, very high IQ forward who acted as the creative hub for the team. You know, he would often check back to the ball and become this striker who became a playmaker. His vision, technical brilliance allowed Arsenal to link midfield and attack very seamlessly. And then you had on the other side of the field in a holding defensive mid, you had a Patrick Vieira. He was the engine of Arsenal's midfield, combining the defensive resilience and toughness. And obviously he's a very tall dude with surging runs forward. Vieira was vital in maintaining balance in Wenger's attacking system. A lot hinged on his performances. And then Thierry Henry, converted from a winger to a striker by Arsène Wenger. What a brilliant decision. And Thierry Henry became Arsenal's all-time top scorer. His pace, his finishing, and ability to drop deep made him absolutely unplayable. And then you had players like Ashley Cole and Lauren, fullbacks who epitomize Wenger's use of width and overlapping runs. They provided attacking outlets while maintaining defensive solidity. And a lot of times during this era of football, you didn't see these wingbacks or attacking fullbacks too often. A lot of times you're playing a back four, and that meant you were kind of staying back there as a back four. And so they really pressed and were innovative in their approach, which led to a lot of their success. Some pivotal matches along the way in Arsène Wenger solidifying himself as one of the top managers all time in the Premier League was Arsenal versus, at the time, huge rival Manchester United in 1997-98 season in the Premier League, winning 1-0 at Old Trafford, which was almost unheard of. It was Wenger's first full season at Arsenal. This match was a turning point in the title race, and Wenger's midfield trio of Vieira, Emmanuel Petit, and Ray Parlour dominated United's midfield, which was not an easy thing to do at the time, with energy, precise passing. And the result, Mark Overmars scored the decisive goal, showcasing the effectiveness of Wenger's counterattacking approach in this match. And the impact of it is the victory propelled Arsenal to their first Premier League title under Wenger, and it really established the beginning of their dominance and of being a key fixture and key contender in the Premier League. And another one is Arsenal versus Liverpool in 2003-2004 at Highbury, right? 4-2 win for Arsenal. This was during the Invincibles season. This match exemplified Wengerball at its finest. Wenger employed a 4-4-2 formation that was very fluid, with Henry and Bergkamp leading the line. The midfield, anchored by Gilberto Silva, allowed the wingers of Robert Perez and Freddie Ljungberg to roam freely. And Thierry Henry had this incredible solo goal where he dribbled past multiple defenders, finished it coolly, and demonstrated Arsenal's flair, creativity, attacking prowess on display. And it maintained Arsenal's unbeaten run, solidified their reputation as one of the greatest teams in English football history as they went on for the Invincible season, which is absolutely unprecedented. There's a lot that you can take as a fan, but also as a youth soccer coach when you start to look at some of Wenger's career. He had a philosophy, a leadership style to him. He would bring on academy players like Cesc Fabregas, Jack Wilshere to prominence. He would be patient, develop them, see attributes, identify attributes, praise them for those attributes, and then raise them up. And I think this is an important part of coaching at any level, and of understanding the greater game, of saying, here's the vision we want to play towards. This is the kind of football we aspire to. Here's our identity, and how do we raise the standard of everybody as an attacking and defensive player to help them develop overall and see what they can become. His eye for talent was unmatched, identified future stars like Nicholas Anelka, Robin van Persie before they really had hit their peak and were really known as global talents. He also exuded leadership under pressure. Wenger navigated challenging transitions, like the move from Highbury to the Emirates, and maintained Arsenal's competitive edge despite financial constraints in periods as well. And so I think there's a lot of opportunities for coaches and managers of any age to say, hey, here's what we aspire to, communicating that to your club. This is the kind of club we want to be. This is the kind of style we want to play. And then being patient, meeting players where they're at, but being patient to set them up to succeed. And we saw under Wenger's leadership, like a Thierry Henry. Everyone thought he was a winger. He put him at striker. He made that gamble, put belief in him, and there were lumps. But then, boom, next thing you know, he was a shining star. So finding as a coach, even in the teams that you just cheer for or support, understanding what their actual vision is, the kind of football they're trying to play, and then seeing players develop and fit into those spots accordingly. Although his time wrapped up managing Arsenal in 2018, Arsène Wenger has stayed involved, developing his legacy and impact on the global game. Wenger has had a key role at FIFA in driving the introduction of VAR, technological advances, and better youth development frameworks as well. He's championed diversity in football, bringing players from all over the world and emphasizing the game's universality. And he's applied this global mindset to grassroots coaching to inspire the next generation. He's set a lot of that infrastructure and helped FIFA with a lot of things, and maybe even things that you've used or tools or resources actually have trickled down from some of the work that he's done over the years. Arsène Wenger's legacy is one of innovation, resilience, and an unwavering belief in football's power to inspire and unite people. His tactics, leadership, and approach to developing players and systems remain a masterclass for coaches at every level. And if you're a youth coach, I would just encourage you, embrace innovation. Don't be afraid to try new tactics or approaches. Develop players holistically. Think long term. Build a vision that sustains success and put the pieces in there. And create context of this is the kind of soccer we want to play. So what's your favorite Arsène Wenger moment? Let us know. Drop a comment on the YouTube channel below. Give us a like and subscribe here on Soccerspective YouTube channel. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Touchline Talk. Stay tuned for more insights and analysis of current and former managers on Touchline Talk. We'll see you next time.